Nigeria joins the world to mark International Women's Day. The day is dedicated to celebrating women's achievements in various social, economic, political, and cultural fields. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating gender parity with the theme for 2025, Accelerate Action. This theme focuses on speeding up women's equality, right, and empowerment.
On the occasion of International Women's Day, it is a day to celebrate some women and to also work together as women towards achieving equality or equity. You see, women, as we are supposed to be celebrated irrespective of status, irrespective of color, and irrespective of disability. So International Women's Day is an occasion for women who have done wonderful things to be celebrated, and for the upcoming women, so that we also, guide them so that they attain, so that they also achieve some things in life. It is also an opportunity for women to come together so that we work towards achieving equality. We are not saying we are equal to men, but give every individual as much as they require to achieve success in life. So that is one of the reasons why we celebrate International Women's Day.
There are a lot of roles that women do, including like social aspect, financial, economical, emotional. We have different roles, different functions as a society, contributing to society. For a very long time, we've been subdued. Our values have been diminished, and that's why, like as women, we need to, how will I put it? It's not really equality, but we just need to stand out as our values. We need to know our values as women in the society. So I don't think it's really gender equality. It's more like pushing out our true values and our true potential as women.
International Women's Day gives focus to issues such as gender equality, reproductive rights, violence and abuse against women. It also brings women around the world under one voice to speak out concerns and advocate for change. Despite the progress made by women, there are still challenges faced by women worldwide. So we urge the world leaders to do more with women inclusion in all sectors and more enlightenment on gender-based violence. International Women's Day provides a useful opportunity to reinforce the fact that everyone has a role to play in forging a more gender-balanced world.
Well, women, they play a very huge role in the society. They play a very huge role in society, They help things get aligned properly, and I feel we are the pillar of the society, actually. I feel we don't get as much as we should get, actually. We get... would I use the word cheated a lot? What a man would do, they would have to restrict women from doing it. That, because you're a woman, you can't do this, you can't do this. That's why we focus on gender equality. We also want to partake in everything a man can actually do. So I don't think we should always sideline women.
Know yourself, and knowing yourself, you know what you can take, what you cannot take. You should know your boundaries, you should respect people, and you should also love yourself. I feel like the first thing to do is to love yourself, and once you love yourself, you can be able to love other people in the society. So yes, first thing, to know yourself, to value yourself, respect yourself, and love yourself.
Let's use the opportunity of International Women's Day to make positive gains for women and girls worldwide as we ask for an accelerated action.
Thanks for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. Of course, we're celebrating the International Women's Day, and on the program today, the theme for this year is Accelerate Action. But today on the program, we're looking at accelerating action on gender equality. And remember, before we went on that break, we're saying that should it be equality or equity? Because many people will argue for and against which one they believe is best. Women should actually be fighting for. But of course, we do have a guest in-house today. And we all will be talking and contributing on what exactly accelerating action on gender equality should also be, especially for women in our profession. On the program today, we have the chairperson of the Nigeria Women Journalists and Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, Now Watch Lagos chapter, Dr. Adiola Ekine. Thank you for being here on the program today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
International Women's Day.
okay, so it's purple, the color code.
That's the color code for International
It's only Joy that is color.
We didn't get the memo.
We didn't get the
Okay.
You're off color.
Okay, it's only Joy. And
It was intentional.
It was intentional. Joy.
Joy.
Was it really intentional?
Joy.
Not really sharp.
You were in the spirit. Okay. Right. Adiola, let's start this way. So the theme for this year, Accelerate Action. We know that year in, year out, there's usually a theme for the celebration of the International Women's Day. At this particular point in time, with all the challenges, the progresses, and all of the issues that women are currently going through, would you say that accelerating action is really a theme that speaks to all of these that the women are actually going through at the moment?
At this time, yes, thank you very much. The theme for this year is actually very apt, and the theme is basically talking about it's time for us to take action. Enough of talking, enough of policy, enough of communicating and advocating about equity, as you said, and for women to be given the right. It's time for us to take action. It's time for us to really put the work into it. We should stop talking about it. We've been talking about it for years. Every March, that's what we talk about. We change theme from one theme to the other. But now, let's just take action. That's what the theme is all about for this year.
Okay, I'm going to take you back to what happened yesterday concerning distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Do you think, okay, I'm going to start with, what's your own view about what happened to her as a woman?
Personally, I've been following the story, and yesterday I asked myself, are there women in the Senate? Because, you see, it's us that will actually come out to speak for ourselves, regardless. And even if we are at fault or something, or even if we are at fault, let's come out and talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, we are the ones that know how to speak about our problems ourselves. We can point it out. For me, till now, I've not seen or heard any more women talk about the issue of the senator. And I feel that we should also not, as women, hide under the guise of, because I'm a woman, things should just happen for me without going through the due process. I'm not in support of that. But for the fact that if a woman is involved in something, I believe other women should stand up to support, regardless. Even if it's wrong, come out and say it. Even if it's right, come out and say it. Let's see how we're going to correct ourselves and then move forward from there.
Yeah, but sorry, just, because you say you haven't heard any woman. We've had Senator Kingibe. We've had Senator Lujimi. We've even had the wife of the president, who was also a former senator, come out to say there are rules at the National Assembly, both chambers, and rules supersede individuals, and rules must be followed. And so if those women are speaking at least in favor of the National Assembly, should they also have taken time to school Nigerians or to tell Nigerians what some of these rules are, and perhaps how Senator Natasha may have also erred in her approach to the issues at hand?
Yes, because the rules, they know the rules. And I believe Senator Natasha should also know the rule because she's a lawyer, and for you to be a senator, I'm sure you'll have gone through the rules and the regulations, the vision, the mission of the assembly. So for me, I believe that there are rules and there are rules. It should not be flouted for any reason, be it man, be it woman. But the fact is that if the rules are flouted, there are penalties for such, and it should be followed. Even if it's a man that erred the same way, I believe, and I want to hope that that's the same punishment approach that will be made for that kind of person. So personally, on that case, I feel that women should still do more in approaching the issue together. Let us even as individuals know what the rules are, so we know whether she actually really flouted, and the punishment that is for that given to her is actually the punishment that's supposed to go for that particular offense.
You know why I asked that? Sorry, you know why I asked that question? Because you said every March, we come out to talk about this. And are we making any progress, about this issue?
Well, I would say we are, but it's snail-like progress.
Okay,
we are crawling. That's where I can express it. We are crawling. Because if we've been talking about International Women's Day for how long?
Since the Beijing conference.
And till now, for me, it's still not encouraging the number of women we have in the leadership positions. For me, it's still not enough that when it comes to a woman, there are some cultural, religious, and other vices that still work against us, whether we like it or not, in every aspect of our lives. In our offices, we experience such. Everywhere we go, we experience such. Even when it comes to, as journalists, sorry that I'm going to talk about that, when it comes to sharing beats, you hear that some beats are not for female, some are not female friendly, some are male friendly. And of course, we all studied the same course. We graduated sometimes even better, and I'm not competing because there's no basis for it. So I believe that we should be given the opportunity that we deserve. Share the beats according to what I can bring to according to what I can deliver, and not because of my gender.
All right. You said that it's a snail-like movement. So what are the key barriers that are still limiting women today?
Okay. Basically, I would say policies. We have some policies that are still not working for us, and also traditional biases. We have some tradition that still believes that women should not work. You can say we are in Lagos, you might not know what is happening in other states. There are still some traditions that you cannot see a woman at all. Their voices are not heard. It is only the man that speaks for the woman. And I say that, you see, things like this, we are the ones that know where the shoe pinches. And for women, we multitask a lot. We are blessed by God. And when you take some positions, and I'm not saying it because we tend to excel, and that is the way it is, the basic, if given the opportunity. So there are lots of vices, I believe, that are still working against us as women, and I believe that we are not seen the way we are supposed to. We should not be sexualized. Because I'm a woman and my body is different from a man doesn't mean that I should be sexualized. I'm a woman, brilliant, bold, and can deliver. Address me as such.
But you think there's go ahead. But you think that sometimes we women, we put ourselves in that position, as in, okay, let me just keep quiet. Let me take the back seat.
Because we are afraid. Because we are afraid to speak up.
And we've been taught to.
We've been taught to. When let your brother talk, even from the family. I mean, go and watch the place. We give so much attention, home chores. You are the one that will get married. You are the one that will get pregnant. We start training them from small. No, your brother should sit. And you see, it's something that started from way back. Even we were born into it. It's just now that we
but not these Gen Zs.
We were born into it. But not this, I know. So I'm saying that we can correct that from the home, from the family. No child is bigger than the other. You are a man, you're a boy, you're a girl. You both do house chores. You both cook. So if we train our boys from home, they grow up to be responsible husbands, responsible men in future.
I mean, again, you did say that we're crawling. And, just to corroborate that, the World Economic Forum said at the current pace, achieving full gender parity may take till 2058.
Did you see the snail-like?
Approximately 5 generations from now. And so,
not even our children's generation.
No, 4 generations from now, 2158. And so if that has been seen, if that, I mean, it's a forecast. It's something that, it's just corroborating what you said, that we are actually crawling, at such a slow speed. And so if we're accelerating action and, we're done with all the talks, we should actually be taking actions. What are some of those, aside fear? I know I did big said sometimes it looks like women, we women ourselves, also put ourselves at a disadvantaged area where you think, oh, it's fine. Do I have this position? Let me manage it. We do not want to strive. We do not want to fight. We do not want to take the bull by the horn. How do we begin to get away from that notion that it is okay to be fine where you are, if indeed we want to maybe take a notch higher and maybe start, what is after crawling? Maybe we can then stand on our feet. So how
to stagger.
And then, you know, just start to do that. So what are some of those things that as women we must challenge ourselves by and start launching out for all of those things that you've identified women to have?
Yes, that goes to say that how can we take the action? How can we survive or take the action in a male-dominated environment?
In a patriarchal society.
The first is what we are doing. We've started taking the action. Beyond that, I think we should, as women, take some positions, try to take some positions that normally we would not attempt to. Who says we cannot have a female president in Nigeria? Who says, I mean, but the fact is that I believe a woman that can be a female president in Nigeria and will take Nigeria places is here. That woman in question, if she comes out, will women support her? Will women, quote and unquote, be the one to start dancing and saying, no, this is our own?
Well, I thought activists and others have said that we are beginning to move away from the women support women syndrome. That
Where
now
are we?
I thought you should know
Okay.
I figured you should know. Okay. So where are we in this push where we because again, because of the way we are as women, we generally just have this quote unquote bias for ourselves. Who is she? Where is she coming from? How can they lord her over us?
Does she have
what
the
does she know?
You know?
Do you know how long I've been here? They just brought her. No, she cannot go. If I'm not rising, she's not rising. If I'm not moving forward, she cannot go. So how do we get out if indeed we need to get to that position? Because there's also that power in number.
And we have the number.
But then are we using the numbers?
We are not, obviously.
So how do we begin to use the numbers?
Okay, so as women, like I said, the work needs to start from us. You know, the men are not the issue right now. We should stop putting all the blames on them.
Okay.
The men, the work has to start from us. As a woman, can we stop for once and say, okay, Abimbola is given a very high position because I know Abimbola is very brilliant and deserves to be in that position, and not because Abimbola is probably irresponsible in getting to that position. I don't want to. Do you understand? We are the ones that will start the conversation. For us as women, we have mentees. Mentees under us, yes. And in an office, for instance, we are the same. We are directors or leaders in our offices. We are the same people that will bring down those young girls that are coming up. We have already given that thing inside of them. When they get to that same position, they will do the same.
To those that
So the work starts from us. The accelerating action is talking to all of us. Let us start it. Let us look beyond all this backbiting and things that they put. When they say women, you see all those things that they start. So let's please move beyond all those things. When we see a woman, forget the fact that, oh, these are the negative things about that woman. What are the positive things about that woman? We are the ones that should say those things out. Not us bringing out the negative things and then other men will now pick it for us and start spread. We are the ones that should bring out the positive. There are good things about us. Because, of course, God created us to be multitask. We can do 100 things. As we are here now, the big yam that you gave yourself, we're already talking about it here. Thinking that if we put that yam, when I get home, porridge, okay, no, I have to also do my bulletin. And you are thinking, you are doing assignments, and my dear, you're already cooking something. That's how we are. We have the power. But we need to also work within ourselves. Yes.
Talking about working within ourselves, there's some organizations who do not like to employ women at a certain age because they believe that work comes to a halt when
They get pregnant.
And they start rearing children. Sometimes, or many times, we women also take advantage of our current situation at that time. Come up with excuses, can't come to work. My baby shifted. Oh, I can't come to work. So when we have such situations, who do you blame for that?
Okay, I'm not saying that, of course, we don't have some of us that have, but I'm saying that, of course, we are the ones that can get pregnant and have children. That shouldn't deter us from still being productive. Thank God for Lagos State government giving us 6 months for women so that we can exclusively breastfeed our babies. And again, after that, we are still going to come back to work. And I mean,
with worries of, hey, how is my baby doing?
With worries. Bring the baby to now watch the kid.
I mean, fantastic, especially if you're a Lagos State worker. So there's really somewhere for you to bring your baby, and then you do not have to worry about issues like that. Joy, you want to ask a question
the
before?
role of education in bridging this gap now, because I remember there's a song they say, really, mommy in the kitchen cooking rice, daddy in the parlor watching film. So, so from small, you know that daddy will watch film in the parlor, mommy will be in the kitchen cooking rice. So what's the role of education in all of this? It's important that we change the narrative even from when they are still little. So how important is the role of education in bridging this gap of equity?
Well, I would say it's very important that we are all educated. Like I said it's from the home, that our children are all the same, male, female, God gave them to us. And then when bringing them up, we should not bring them up separately. We should train them together. So it will not be the same as daddy cannot be in the parlor when we came back from work together. You understand? So we should try and help each other. I'm saying that it's not easy, but if they have that thing in them from when they are growing up, they don't see it as, I'm doing you a favor by actually doing this. They see it as something we are supposed to do together. That's why I say we grew up with that thing in us. But the Gen Zs, of course, you can't even bring that. But that's why I'm saying that we should start from home. When we have to do it together. It's not, you should also teach our boy child. Because most importantly, we emphasize so much on the girls. And then when they grow up to get married, they get married to irresponsible boys. Because we didn't give them that training from home. They have that ego. Like, man.
You can't do this.
Boys, if you are not careful, you will see those kind of egos from boys. Mommy, I'm not wearing it. You're not wearing what? You give them that training from home. That, see, because your sister is a girl doesn't mean she's different from you. She's different from you with body physique, that's all. But every other thing, you are the same. You do together. You went to the same school. So it should be from home. So when they have that in them from small, it's easy. It's not going to be daddy in the sitting room watching film and then there's no slave. There's no slave. We are all human beings. So we should be treated as such.
Right. Okay, let's quickly talk about another issue that I know that a lot of women also face, and that's also part of where Senator Natasha's problem also started from. How do we begin to accelerate action on gender-based violence and sexual harassment? I know that we're talking about it. It's a lot better now. But how do we begin to ensure that, these things are also not swept under the carpet? Because oftentimes you also hear things like, let's settle it at home. Don't disgrace the family. These things should be hush. I know Lagos State is doing so well in that regard, but again, how do we begin to ensure that we accelerate action on those issues?
When one is first, we should encourage that survivors should speak up. Is actually very important, because we have a lot of people suffering in silence. Because if I talk, what would they think of me? Then after that, we should also it is very important that when found guilty of such cases, they should be prosecuted. In fact, there was a case, and I wanted to handle some years back. A 12-year-old girl was being sexually harassed, abused by a guy in the community. And I came into it, I took it up, and I'm like, no, this is not going to be. I was already making some calls trying. The day came for me to go and invite the parents, and okay, fine. The mother told me, please, the family of the boy came to beg, and they said that it's better. And Losi
Court. Kakasu Dore. And Loli Ejoka Dore.
Please, which already are they coming back?
Why?
Is there any basis for friendship?
You know, and I'm like, no, you will not, because it took time for the girl to even open up to talk to me. There was a time she said people were pointing to her in the community because it was not news. Everybody heard about it. They were pointing to her and saying,
she was scared.
Yes, that's the girl that I told you that was raped. That's, you know, so, and I'm like, no, I felt anger in my spirit. And I went, no. I went back to my spirit and said, in this kind of case, I do not care about what the parents said. I am still going to go ahead. And they said, no. I still need the consent of the parents. As at that time. And I mean, there was nothing I could do then, you know. And I felt, God, who is looking? The girl is the one suffering, not even the mother or the father.
Yeah, so sorry to cut you short, because again, I know earlier you did say that, you know, we have policies, we have, you know, laws, and so this is a time for action. Shouldn't you also look at tinkering with our laws to also accommodate real-time and modern cases?
Yes.
Some of the laws may also be outdated.
They
Isn't that also part of the action?
They are. Actually, that is one of the actions that we are talking about. We should stop about, the policy is there. How do we change, how do we tweak the policy to serve now? It's not serving that time anymore, because now, I think now, well, the parents, they said they will actually arrest the parents and they will take up the child. Exactly. But it was not there as at that year.
That time, yeah.
So the policies are changing gradually, and I believe we will get there. Because things like this is going to make us understand that, okay, it doesn't matter. I don't want to do. You don't want to do, but this is a girl. This is a child. And underage. You are still under government.
Yes. You're less than 18.
Okay, as journalists, do you think the media is doing enough to present or represent women in a good way, in a privileged way? You know, we're all media.
Yes, so that's what I'm trying to answer.
I can see,
So the question, you just pushed.
No, but really, let's just hit the nail by the head.
Yes.
And then we can speak,
and we are all going to hit the nail together.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we are not there yet.
Okay.
But I hope we're not crawling.
I'm not going to answer that.
If we were crawling.
Are we up yet?
Maybe we are staggering.
Are you sure I see not in the womb? No, we've been gone. I believe we are trying our best. Of course, that's why associations are always advocating that as women, we should always use our reportage to speak for anything that has to relate with women and the girls, because we are the ones that know how to, we are the ones that will know how to tell our stories the way we want it to be perceived. So we keep advocating for it. Of course, I would say, well, we are not in the womb, and we are not crawling, and we are not even the snake-like, you know, but I believe that is a gradual process. We are trying our best. Of course, one of it is us being here together talking about it. This is taking action. This is taking action. So, of course, I'll say we are doing it. We are also just encouraging that as women, reporters, journalists, we should always use our platforms, reportage, anything that has to do with women and the girl child. We should not hesitate.
How about the religious homes? Because, again, sometimes they aid and abet some of those things. And so how vocal should the religious organizations be in pushing for things that really need to do with the emancipation of women?
Because they're opinion leaders, and they are the ones that, majority of communities, they are opinion leaders, imam, pastors, obas, those are the people that they listen to. So I believe that this work one of it is also the opinion leaders. They should, if it's possible for us to also, if they don't know, they will only educate what they know.
So we have to take
We
the
have
message
to them, to the grassroots. We need to let them know. It is what they know that they will pass. Of course, for community disputes, gender-based violence, in such communities, they will take it to the elders. It is what the elders know. That's how the elders is going to pass to judge the case. So I believe that if we take it to them, let's take the message to them, let's educate them, let's keep advocating, and obviously, look, we don't need this. The people that need it are those people in the grassroots.
I know we started this conversation with what I'm about to say now, that when I hear things like, let's keep some positions for women, like, okay, in the Senate, currently we have like 4 women, and let's keep, at least let us keep like 10, 10 positions in the
Like
Senate.
we don't merit it.
Exactly,
I think that's part of the things that bill that they threw us, the gender bill.
The gender bill.
Those are some of the things that those bill, sought to address, but then that bill has been thrown out.
Has been thrown out.
It's true, because that's what I'm saying. Because of course, like we don't merit it. They want us gender equality. Just give them.
Yes, they want to
give it to them.
Yes,
like a pity party.
Like on a platter of that they are doing us a favor. We don't deserve it, so let them just give it to.
So how do women start to, show that
they should not give us any position? Let us
exactly.
Let us also
fight for it. It is not like they are giving us. They are not giving us on a plat. It is something that if you merit it, they should give it to you because you deserve to be there. Because every other things that needs to be.
You were also elected on that platform. Abby, didn't we come in? Women were also elected on that platform.
Yeah.
They were elected like the men were elected.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. So it's the same. That's what I'm saying. That it's not like we met. It's something. If we deserve, they should not say 4 or give us 5 or 10.
Yeah,
so that it should not be like they have been talking.
Just keep it quiet.
They're not doing us. So that's what we are saying.
Okay.
We are not. It's not equality. We are not competing. We are only saying that what we make, what we deserve.
It is our right.
It is our right.
Give it to us.
So when we have like an NUJ, why do we have another Nawaj? Is it not?
No, NUJ and Nawaj. Nawaj is just the female. Okay, I'm going to answer that. I'm going to answer that.
Nawaj when we have an NUJ.
Thank you. NUJ is Nigerian Union of Journalists.
Yeah.
Nawaj is Nigeria Association of Women Journalists. Now,
we're still journalists.
We are all journalists.
Okay.
But female, like we said, we are looking for the platform to speak for ourselves. Let's use our reportage to let go. Women are the ones that know how to tell our stories the way we want it to be heard. Need Nawaj. Nawaj is not even a baby. We are under NUJ, yes, because we are all journalists. But Nawaj is the female wing of women, of journalists, female wing of journalists.
Okay.
Do you get it?
They
should go and win.
So are you trying to say that if they want like a Nigerian men,
we can win it.
Yeah. So again,
but because of course now, if we are talking about things that has to do with women and girls, we are the only ones that can talk about it. We are the only ones that can advocate about it, write about it, because I know I feel it.
Okay. All right, so there's an umbrella body, which is the union, of course, but now what is an association under NUJ. Okay, we need to go, but before we go,
where are we going?
And she has
I thought she was in
a meeting at 11. But before we go, any special words for the Lagos State government before you go? Because many states, they've come here to study, the Lagos experience, the Lagos study. Majority of permanent secretaries in Lagos State are women. Lagos is doing so well when it comes to the emancipation and giving women a voice. So do you have a special word?
You're leaving something out for Lagos. We've had the first female speaker.
Okay. You didn't. I'm always touchy when that matter comes. Yeah, so.
Okay, well, of course, Lagos, we are the pace setters. We lead and others follow. So that's why a lot of other states have come here to understudy us. But regardless of the number, we thank them for that. I mean, it's a very gender-sensitive state, I must say. We have a governor that is he for she, and even with the numbers that we have, we are Oliver Twist.
We will still ask for more.
We will still ask for more. And you can see the progresses Lagos is making is because of the number of women we have in the cabinet. Let the governor increase it and see the transformation that will happen in Lagos. Am I speaking for all of us?
Oh, yes. You have spoken well. Okay, and of course, that's where we would end this conversation this morning. And like Adiola said, it is time for us all to accelerate the action. We need to do more so that at least we can leave the crawling position we are and perhaps also start finding our feet and of course standing tall in years to come. Please don't let us wait till that 2158 4 generations. It's just too far.
It's too far.
Thank you so much, Adiola, for
Thank you so much for having me
here with us on the program
so
today.
much.
We'll take a quick break. The conversation returns shortly.